So what we are going to do now is that in the first place we are going to look at the initial vote before the talk, before these four eloquent speakers, and see if they have influenced the vote or modified your opinion about the unmet need. So what we see here is, in the first place, the relative percentage for the different indication. We can start by the bottom because the last speaker was dealing with the patient himself or herself, the self-referral principle, 24.1%. Then the poor individual who has GI bleeding on NOAC, that was the majority, 31.6%. Ischemic stroke on NOAC was the poor man with 20.3%, and then the PVI and LLA occlusion, that was 24.1%, and that's about 35-40 minutes ago. So I guess that we must re-vote now after for the lawyer, advocate, and then the judge will be out, and the judge is you. So let's see how much they have influenced you in your judgment. $74 one time, two time. Okay, now let's look what happens. I think the patient itself, where is he? You were very eloquent, no doubt about that, but your stock has crumbled. So you went from 24.1% to 16.2%. You have to go back to Kansas City and do some more advertisement for C1 and get one done on yourself. Clearly, the group who has improved is the group number 1, where they went from 20... the group who has improved, it's a GE bleeding on NOAC, went from 31.6 to 33.8, and I must say that that was quite convincing, but certainly where I think the most dramatic indication is indeed this ischemic stroke on NOAC, which is almost a 7-point increase pre and post talk, and then the last indication, PVI, LA, occlusion are basically status quo, didn't change very much. So, Bernie, are you surprised by these results? Or is there somebody in the audience who would voice and convey a strong message of disapproval? Bernie?
Well, I think this concept of combining the two things is something we have to remind us of. Every year we talk about that, but just at the end as today. But this is probably something that should be used more often. Why not use both? Good sides.
Right. So that's one comment. Is there another burning comment by the committee and by the people who have organized that meeting? Nobody want to go to the microphone? The defender.
Yeah, the defender. So, in a way, I would say I still win because 1, 2, and group 3 all involve patients. So if your patient is really not convinced about this, no matter what the doc is going to say, they're not going to do it. So educating the patient and targeting the patient at every step and every opportunity that we have, I think still remains to be a key point in this. In order to really raise the awareness levels at a grassroots level.
Yeah, the debate was somewhat flow because basically all these individuals are patients. They are somewhat hidden in the other categories, and you are defending the patient on generic terms, not specifying what kind of disease they had. You want to make a comment?
I think point 2 is really the most important thing, the highest need. You have no alternative and you have a somehow malignant structure who has already produced. I think this is the area where we should really go for occluding or excluding the appendage from the circulation.
I mean, when I saw the first barcode for the vote, I was shocked that ischemic stroke on NOAC was the smallest one.
Right.
It started by 20%.
So the change is really is good.
It has recovered. Any other comments, Bernie? No. So, Mr. Chairman, do you want to close this meeting?
Yeah, thanks a lot. I thank you all for coming. I especially thank the speakers. I think they made a tremendous job. We heard excellent lectures. There is a lot of work to prepare. So thanks to all, and I want to specifically thank the sponsor, Philips and Abbott. I think we had not the feeling to be in a let's say industrial symposium. We had a lot of freedom to create our talks, to select the topics, and I think the World Summit is really well taken and is justified. But my last point goes to Wim. Where are you? Wim, stand up. He's over here. Wim, you get an applause now for doing this. And I think we have to say, without somebody who is driving this and is really like growing up a baby, we started with 40, 50 crazy people meeting to do something strange, and now we are a large crowd and a community. And Wim, it's really your baby. It needs somebody who pushes it, who is organizing it. Thanks a lot for this. Thank you. I thank all the co-course directors who organized this day, and have a nice weekend, have a good trip back, and we meet. Wim, do we meet next year? Is that, can you give a commitment or no? Okay, so I hope we will meet again next year somewhere in Europe or maybe even outside of Europe next time. Thank you. Have a good trip back home. Thank you.